fight tonight.
What's going on, everybody? Jade up here. Today's video is going to be over my Magic Sorcerer VMA build. Now again, this is what I run. If you want to run something else or try and alter it in any way, that's on you. If it performs really well for you, then cool. If it doesn't, then use something else that performs well for you. This is just what I run. Okay. So we're going to buff up right quick. Look at our stats. So as you can see, we have 38k max magicka, 1000 mag recovery, which is fine because of the way that we run this build. We're at 19k health with the pet on. I think we're at 17k or 18k or something like that without the pet on. 10k stam, 3270 spell damage. Again, we're gonna have 452 extra spell damage added to that. Spell crit 63%. This is with a thief and a pot active, obviously. And then let's go into this tree. We are at 12k spell penetration because we're using sharpened on our front bar. Obviously, we go back bar. We're at 8k. 12k is just a little. It's probably a little bit too much. You could probably go precise if you wanted to, or charge or something like that. Whatever you want to run as far as staff. I just had sharpened on it because I was doing what was we doing? I think we were doing block rows or something like that, and I just wanted to like get a little bit extra more pen. And that's what we have. Again, running the thief, and we are running by stat. So here's the food that we're running: banana, bunny, and you can run any by stat. The only reason I'm running by stat is because it gives you more health and more max magicka than pretty much anything else. You could run Bloody Mara if you wanted to, but I kind of see no point since I'm not a vampire and stuff like that, and this gives me more resources than this does. I did run Clockwork City, and sustain was amazing, but I felt like I didn't really need it, right? I felt like I wanted more max magicka, and this is where I get with that. The pots we're using are just Essence of Spell Power pots, pretty standard pots that we use. As far as the gear we're running Slimecraw, 1 heavy, 1 medium, both divines, all magicka enchants on everything for that extra bit of magicka. Obviously, all our jewelry are arcane as well. So 1 heavy, 1 medium, and the reason why is because the Undaunted passive here, Undaunted Metal. Everybody should really know what this is by now. If you've been playing the game for longer than probably 6 months, you should probably know what this is. And if you don't, you should affiliate. You should learn what Undaunted is and what this is. The gear that we're running is New Moon. It's a craftable set in Southern Elsewhere. It's just a newer set that came out right here. All you got to do is just take this waste shrine, exit out of the city, follow the dotted lines, right? Right about here, there's going to be a cave right around here, and then you just go into it, and you're good to go, and you can just craft it. You don't need to do a quest or anything to get to it. And let me back up 1 second. If you guys don't know what Slimecraw is, you need to get it as well. In VMA, it works really, really well. Or if you don't have a healer applying combat prayer or something to you, this works really, really well for that. This comes from, where does it come from? Wayrest 1 is where it comes from. It gives you minor berserk at all times. The 8% extra damage is super nice, on top of the extra spell crit or weapon crit, whichever one you use if you use stam or mag. So it works really, really well. And New Moon, what New Moon does is it gives you weapon and spell crit, weapon weapon and spell damage, and it gives you spell penetration along with weapon penetration, and then at the very last, it gives you some extra weapon and spell damage. It's a really, really good set. A lot of people use it in PvP. A lot of people are using it in PvE. It's just a really good set. But here, the kicker to that is at the very bottom, it says increase the cost of your active abilities by 5%. And you definitely notice it if one, you're not getting orbs, you don't have Ellie Drain up or anything like that, you don't have decent recovery, or if you don't have something like False Gods on, you will definitely feel the 5% increase in cost abilities. It's disgusting. But it's not too bad with False Gods on, or if you run a stand build and you run New Moon and like VO, it'll kind of negate that a little bit. But those are two sets we're running. All divines, again, except for the chest and legs. I run infused there just for the extra mag recover, or excuse me, the extra mag. Everything else is divines. As far as the jewelry goes, all of this is all arcane and spell damage. And the reason why is I just don't feel the need to change these to infused or anything like that. I'll just keep them arcane the way they are, and it's fine this way. Again, the flame staff is sharpened, and we have a flame enchant on the front bar, and our back bar is just infused with a berserker enchant. This is just the way that I have it set up. Obviously, if you don't feel like you want to run New Moon, you're probably going to do less damage, and you could run something like, I don't know, Julianos or some other shit like that if you want to. Mother Sorrow, whatever. Run something, run whatever else you want to run if you don't want to run this setup. As far as the skills go, I'm using Force Pulse, just a nice spammable. It tends to kill every ad with, you know, at least 1 to 2 of these pretty nicely. I am running Endless Fury. The reason why is because of the extra 20%. Like, what? Or excuse me, once they hit 20% health, you pop this bad boy a little bit before it, and then when they hit 20% health, they'll just take a shit ton of damage at once and normally die. Very few times when they hit 20% health do they not die. It's very rare. But if you're doing decent damage consistently and you hit them with this, they're dying. And the reason why we use this again is the 20% and then the extra magicka you get as well. The extra magicka you get, you really can't beat. I feel like it's a little bit better than consumption, or excuse me, consuming trap. Even though consuming gives more, I like Endless Fury because, again, once they hit below that 20% health, they just immediately take a shit ton of damage and you restore that magicka. You don't have to worry about them. As for this, the only thing that they have is a consistent dot on them. So I would rather run probably Fury myself than consuming. If you are having trouble sustaining, then obviously swap out consuming, or excuse me, Endless Fury for consuming. But if you feel like you can do this build like this, then obviously run Endless Fury. As long as you hit this on a majority of the ads that you fight, you should be fine. You don't have to hit it on every single ad you fight against, but I tend to do. Mainly because I'll hit this and then I'll do like a Force Pulse or two, and then the ad will die, and then this will proc and give me magicka back. So, and then again, you'll get magicka back from having a dual a Destro Staff as well. On where's the yeah, here it is. When you kill an enemy with Destro Staff, you'll get some 3k magic. Super nice. Crystal Frag, we use this one. Whenever this pops up, try and use it immediately on a specific ad. Don't use it on an ad that's already dying. It's kind of pointless if you do that. This actually does a shit ton of damage. My consistent damage with this is anywhere around 35k to 40k, and it's it's ridiculous, honestly. I've seen it on stream hit as high as 50k, but I've only seen that very few times. I won't say what the highest I've ever seen it hit, but I've seen it hit 50k a couple times. But the range that it stays at is anywhere from 35 to 45k. Obviously, depending on the resistance of the enemy you're fighting, the health, all that stuff, like all obviously plays into how hard this can hit. But yeah, it does hit really fucking hard. And I'll show you here in a second if I can. Twilight. I've been running the pet a lot lately. One, because it does decent damage. And plus, when you activate it, it does quite a bit more damage to enemies above 50% health. And also, it'll take damage for you. And it will also kill ads without you even knowing sometimes. It's super nice. It's just all around a good thing to run. I don't like normally run pets. I actually hate them, but for some reason it just feels right to run a pet in Maelstrom for whatever reason. I don't know why. Just feels right. I run a Mystic Orbs here. This thing is disgusting how hard this actually hits when you think about it. It says that it does 1410 as a tooltip, and of course tooltips are never correct in ESO. And let's go ahead and just okay, I guess we'll take a spot. This ticks every 0.5 seconds, so as you can see, like consistently it's at about 2k plus. Like it's absolutely disgusting. So about 2k is the average, max is 2700, but the tooltip says 1500. Of course, you've seen some 1500s. We're trying to see if I can. Here's a crystal frag here. I didn't actually see that hit. I did not see at all what that hit. Let me see if I can find another ad to hit. As you can see, these are ads that are roughly. We'll just 19k. There's a 32k crit on that. There's a 33k crit. So it's a little bit lower, obviously, because we don't have our minor force up. I don't think we had a pod up either. We didn't have a weapon or wall of unstable wall up either. So 32k, pretty decent. When we're buffed up, you'll see some damage flying. You'll see it. It's disgusting. And again, this Mystic Orb is something you should run on pretty much all Magicka builds if you can. If you're DPSing with them, this just does a ridiculous amount of damage for no reason. Like it's insane. And then if you're in a group setting, when they pop the orb, I've seen orbs pop for like 30k, 25k, if not higher. Like they're absolutely disgusting. And that's per character, or that's per ad. That's not just like a one-time thing. Like it can really destroy some ads like really quick. And then plus this points every 0.5 seconds. So if you read the top of it, it says dealing 1410 magic damage every half a second to nearby enemies. Yeah, I mean it's just disgusting. So every 0.5 seconds, every half a second, it will tick on an enemy. That's why it ticks so much. It's crazy. We're using Shooting Star on our front bar just to kind of help out with a little bit of max damage and mag recovery. Keep in mind, if you have not reset your passive abilities for Mage's Guild, for whatever reason, it will apply to your back bar, as you can see here. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just a visual bug or what, but it will apply to your back bar. Or if you take the ability off for whatever reason and put whatever on, it'll swap. I don't know if it's actually a visual bug or not. I've asked in the stream team Discord. I've got no response from it. So I have no idea what's going on with it. I don't even know if they've even acknowledged it. But just keep in mind that for some reason it visually shows back bar being buffed. As you can see, I'm on my back bar with 38k max magicka and then 37 on my front bar. You can tell the difference because of the spell penetration I have. So I don't know what's going on with this. I don't know if it's just a visual or what, but if you reset it, excuse me, if you just reset the passives, it's fine. Excuse me, I had to get a drink of water. So I don't know what's going on with it. I've asked a couple times in the stream team Discord that I'm in, and I've just got no answers. So whatever. Crit surge is super nice. The extra healing you get from it every time you deal critical damage, it heals you for 3k. Again, this is every 1 second. So as long as you're dealing damage, you're going to be critting a decent amount. So you can get pretty good healing from this. That's why I don't run shield anymore from here, is because I'm constantly doing damage. And then the crit surge is just absolutely destroying them. So it's just constantly healing me. We have Liquid Flood next. This is really good to throw on a portal and just for them to constantly tick and end up dying. It's super nice. It's a decent little tick. Unstable Wall of Fire. This is the morph that explodes when it's done. It's super nice. No matter how many times you lay it down, it will always explode. So I just laid it down, laid it again, and it explodes. So it's a super nice one. Even if you reapply it or not, it's still going to explode to do decent damage. Again, pet again, and then channel acceleration. I like running channel acceleration, one, because you could use trap beast if you want to, or rearming trap or whatever, but I don't ever remember to lay this down. Excuse me, I don't ever remember to lay this down, so that's why I really like running a channel acceleration. Plus, this lasts for so long. 36 seconds is a ridiculous amount of time. This lasts an entire round for me in Maelstrom. Like, I think I get done with a round at like 27 seconds or so normally. And I just have to always reapply this before the round starts and I'm good. And then we run Destro ulti. The reason why is because VMA is built around burst damage, and this has really great burst potential. It's just really, really good, opposed to all the other bullshit ultimates that the Necro or the Sorc has. I haven't tried the overload build in a very, very long time in VMA. You used to be able to get up to 1,000 ultimate and then just go in with overload for each boss and then just overload the shit out of them. But again, they capped it at 500. So, you know, I don't actually know if this would be worth to even try on a boss, but I used to run the Atro here, but it felt like it took so long for this thing to finally tick and do damage that it just wasn't really worth it to run over the Destro ulti. And normally in every single boss you run, even the spider boss, you can lay a Destro ulti and do really good damage. So the way that I would do this on the spider boss, and you'll have to watch one of my videos when I do this, or come in stream, but I'll lay down everything a little bit further in front, and then I'll lay down the Destro ulti in front while I'm force pulsing that ad. Or excuse me, that boss, the spider boss, and it'll just pick away and kill it. Very, very, very high damage here with that. Other than that, I am a Breton. You could go high elf, but the reduced magic cost of your abilities is really, really nice. Your mag recovery and then extra max magicka you get from this is just super, super nice. High elf is probably going to get you a little bit more damage. But Breton's really good with sustain. If you ever want to take this dude into dungeons or anything like that, I do dungeons with this guy quite a bit in stream. So if you want to learn how I do that, that's totally up to you. I pretty much run the same build. that I run here. As far as other passives go, obviously you get the Fighter's Guild. You're really looking at Banish the Wickets, Skill Tracker, and then if you do use um, any Fighter's Guild ability, definitely get Intimidating, obviously. But you don't really have to get Slayer because you're not dealing with weapon damage, but it's up to you. Obviously, Mage's Guild, if you are using it, the Meteor and stuff, definitely get all the passives there. If you don't like Force Pulse and you like using Elemental Weapon, then do it, but make sure you put all the passives in here as well. Obviously, Undaunted, get the Undaunted passives here. This unlocks at level 9, I believe. And this unlocks at like level 8 or something like that. And you could just level all this up, obviously. Consuming Trap, if you want to get this ability takes no time at all to level up. Heavy armor, definitely get the first 3. The reason why is because you are using one heavy, one medium. So getting the first 3 of these are actually not bad. Increase your physical and spell resistance for each piece of heavy armor on. Increase your health recovery, that's okay, but you restore so much magicka and stamina when you take damage for each piece of heavy armor on. So obviously this is super nice too. And then again, increase your max health for each piece of heavy armor equipped. And obviously we only have one piece, so that's where we're stuck at. One medium armor here, so you could just kind of put points in here if you want to. It's totally up to you. The only one that I would kind of even put anything up to would probably be Windwalker, but that's just me. I just normally put points into here. And then, of course, all your light armor passives, the extra spell penetration, spell critical, spell resistance, mag cost reduction, and recovery. Like, just obviously, you want to put points into there. Destruction staff, obviously, you're going to want force pulse because that's what we're using. Unstable wall. And then all the passives here. Keep in mind, if you ever run an ice staff in a group, please, for the love of God, take the points out of Trifocus, because when a tank is trying to grab aggro and your ass is over there hitting heavy attacks with an ice staff, pulling aggro, the tank is going to let you just die, because when you heavy attack with an ice staff, you taunt the boss, taunt whatever ad you heavy attacked with. So keep that in mind. If you're not a tank, and you're using an ice staff, do not fucking put points into here. It's not going to affect you at all with damage. Okay? If you are using a flame staff, obviously put damage in here. But if you use an ice staff at ever on both your bars, like a warden or some shit like that, don't put points into here. It drives tanks insane when the boss or ad just gets aggroed somewhere else, and then you die, and then you bitch at the tank because you can't read, you know. Just don't do that. Don't put points into here if you're using double ice. That's stupid. Obviously all the passives and the skill abilities, and that's pretty much it. Obviously you're gonna want alchemy. You're going to want medicinal use. Get this all the way up to level 50, and you should be good to go. You could go a little bit further as to put points into here, depending on which one you use. You can add 5 minutes to each food duration if you want to. Totally up to you if you want to be super high speed or not. But Alchemist is pretty much really good. And this doesn't really take long at all. Now that you can multi-craft, this literally takes like 3-4 minutes. I have a guide on how to power level this from 1 to 50 in Discord. If you want to hop in Discord, just hop in stream sometime, !! Discord in chat, and then you'll get a little bot that pops up, and it's like, hey, here's the Discord. I stream pretty much every single day on Twitch, technically Monday through Friday now, because I'm going to start taking off Saturdays and Sundays, unless drops are enabled, or I'm doing something fucking badass, like going for Unchained or raiding or something like that. I'll probably stream for a little bit, But Monday through Friday, I stream 5 p.m. Central and till roughly about 10 to 11 p.m. Central. So if you want to catch a live stream or something like that, watch me do a Maelstrom run, or you just want to group up and do some dungeons. Totally up to you. Whatever you want to do, that would be cool. I've ran a lot of dungeons with a lot of people, and I don't mind doing anything like that at all. And we just had to set up a day and a time to do it. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll try and post or try and find a video. That video that I put a 605K score up. I can't find it right now. I know obviously I did do it, but I can't find the video of where I did it. It might have been a deleted broadcast because I said something fucked up at one point in time, or I accidentally deleted it from my my section of video clips and stuff that I have on my computer. But yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully this will help you out in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, other than that, if you want to catch a live stream and watch me do this live, you can ask me questions in real time. It'll be a lot quicker than trying to ask me on YouTube. Yeah, have a good one, and thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.